We know Caleb Williams is a stud, but what about Spencer Rattler? And Hopkins is a Titan? All that on the Football Takeover Show right here. Let's go! That's right, that's me, John Harris, owner-operator of FootballTakeover.com and the new semi-daily, hopefully it's going to be daily, definitely once we get to the season, YouTube Football Takeover Show. I am so glad to be starting this. Wanted to start it a couple weeks ago, but it's 4th of July and then trying to get all my ducks in a row. We finally start today. And we've got plenty for you. I had a trip to Big 12 Media Days, and so we're going to talk about that and show you the sights and sounds from Arlington, what a day that was up there at Jerry World. And then we're going to put the film on, bro. Yeah, if you know anything about me, you know my famous saying, put the film on, bro. We're going to do that for two quarterbacks. One, seemingly a slam dunk, Caleb Williams. One, maybe the most polarizing, I shouldn't even say maybe, he is the most polarizing prospect in his 2024 NFL draft class, and that is Spencer Rattler. So we're going to take a look at what former QB1 superstar, if you saw that Netflix show, he's always been polarizing. But Spencer Rattler, Caleb Williams, we will put the film on, bro, a little bit later. But we're going to kick off every show with the Football Takeover YouTube Cover 3. Let's roll. All right, so at the beginning of the show, we're going to hit on three of the hottest topics in all of football. Not just college, not just draft, not just NFL, but all three, mix them together in one big booyah-base of football. And that's what we're going to talk about right here on the show. And we're going to start at number 3, and that's Hard Knocks shoving it down the throat of Aaron Rodgers. Yes, because that's what the NFL does. They just shove money and entertainment dollars and whatever else right down the throat of their NFL quarterbacks and their NFL teams. Yes, that's what the NFL does. Oh, by the way, the NFL makes billions of dollars for its players, its owners, et cetera, et cetera. Yet Aaron Rodgers, aka Zava, has an issue with the Hard Knocks being shoved down their throat, as he said late last week as he was playing golf out in Lake Tahoe with a bunch of superstars. Steph Curry, hole-in-one, and won the tournament out in Lake Tahoe. Congratulations to Steph, like he needs congratulations. But the Jets are going to be this year's Hard Knocks team in training camp. Now, I don't know that we've heard who's going to be in season. Hopefully it's the Lions. They want the Lions back, and for good reason. They were tremendous theater, and I think the Jets will be the exact same. You've got Aaron Rodgers, you got Robert Saleh, head coach, who I think is fantastic. You got Sauce Gardner, and you got a bunch of other stars. Keep an eye on Mr. Reed, who plays opposite Sauce Gardner. Reed Gardner, great quarterback duo, but they like to run their mouths a little bit, so that's going to be kind of fun, I would think, to see those two at work. So, Hard Knocks going to New Jersey. Number 2, Sean Jackson calls it a career. What a career it's been, whether he was with Washington or he was with the Eagles, or whether it was with Las Vegas at the end, Tampa Bay. I mean, the guy was all over the place, and you can surmise why that might have been. But Deshaun Jackson, one of the greatest, if not the greatest deep threats. And boy, that's a good one. Put that down in the comments here. Greatest deep threat of all time. Cliff Branch of the Raiders, I know he's definitely going to be in that mix. Randy Moss was a tremendous deep threat, but I don't know if we think about him that way because we think about what a great just overall receiver he was. Sean Jackson is definitely in that mix. He retires after 15 years in the NFL, or so that's what his IG seemed to think, that he was going to call it a career. But Sean Jackson, if he's done, is he a Hall of Famer? But that's going to be an interesting discussion. I still think he's got one of the greatest plays in NFL history when he returned to punt against the Giants. Miracle at the Meadowlands Part 2. That was a tremendous return, and he had a great career. But Sean Jackson seemingly done with football, at least the playing side of it. We'll see what he does on the other side of it. And number 1, yes, how could it be anything other than my man DeAndre Hopkins joining the Tennessee Titans? Now, I've said throughout, bag, ring. The best situation would be bag and ring. So could you look at teams like the Bills and the Chiefs and think ring but not make the bag? Or could you think about some other teams, maybe the one here in Houston, and make the bag, but the ring is going to be a long shot? So he kind of split the middle. The Titans, I don't know. Ryan Tannehill drafted Will Levis at quarterback. The quarterback situation's all over the place. And at times you feel like, okay, well, they're going to tank and eventually draft Caleb Williams or one of those quarterbacks in the first round. Then you see them making moves like this, and you're like, wait a second. I know Derrick Henry is still there, but the offensive line is not the same. Tannehill's not the same. He's been beat up. I think his confidence seems to be shot. So does that mean DeAndre Hopkins is catching passes from Will Levis? Now, the other side of the bag. 2 years, $26 million, up to $32 million. That's a pretty good price tag for a guy who's 31, coming off of 2 injury-riddled seasons. Well, one was a suspension because he was taking something in PEDs apparently to help him with the injuries from the year before, apparently. Either way, DeAndre Hopkins going to the Titans. I know that tugs at my heartstrings, but we've seen this before. Andre Johnson went to the Titans. He went to the Colts. The year he went to the Colts, the Texans ended up winning the division. The year he went to the Titans, the Texans ended up winning the division. I don't know what this means for the Texans, but I do know for the Titans, they had to have it. Treylon Burks was really the guy they had. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine is a great 3. He's a questionable 2, and he's definitely not a 1. Burks can be a 1, but right now he's a 2. So Hopkins kind of bridges the gap for the Tennessee Titans. So we'll see what that means in the long run, but it's at least 2 years in Tennessee, apparently, for DeAndre Hopkins. All right, let's jump into the college game. I had a chance to drive up I-45, long drive, but I made it. I got to Jerry World and had a good time. Check it out. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Arlington, Texas, Jerry World. If you've never been here, well, it's an impressive site, and it's the home of the Big 12 championship for the next, 50 years. It's a great site. It was a great game last year, TCU and Kansas State, and it's also the site of Big 12 Media Days, where I was able to come and celebrate the end of the Big 12, I guess as we know it, the beginning of the Big 12, Houston, UCF, BYU, Cincinnati moving in, and 2 tenants that have been here forever, Texas and Oklahoma moving out. A lot of talk about that, a lot of football talk, a lot of sights and sounds. Let's take a listen. Let's watch what I was able to find out here at Big 12 Media Days.
Tell that I'm one of the new guys when I got to follow up the National Coach of the Year here. And I want to commend our players for, like I said, for their commitment. They've bought into this thing, and more than they've bought into it, they've elevated it. There's high expectations within.
The last 6 teams that played for championships here in the last 3 years, and there's a lot of parity there. So I'm hoping that our team can add to that, but everyone wants to win, and my goal is to get us.
Yeah, man, that was a blast. I caught all my guys, a bunch of guys. Andre Ware, Dave Aranda at Baylor, Dana Holgerson at University of Houston, ran a bunch of me friends as well. Sam Kahn at Textbook for The Athletic. I love that guy. What a great disposition and a great writer. He does some great stuff, so check him out at The Athletic and check me out at footballtakeover.com. On that note, August 1st, that's the day that you really want to go to Football Takeover, but you can go there now if you want. Footballtakeover.com, subscription site at that point, but I'm going to make it reasonable for everybody. I want to make a little money. 20 plus years I've been giving my stuff away. Now I'm going to make you pay a little bit, but you'll be along for the ride with me. So August 1st, check it out. Harris 100 going to be unveiled on that day. The top 50 prospects in the Big 12, draft prospects, in the Big 12 going to be unveiled on that day. Top 50 for the SEC going to be unveiled on that day. And I also got a book coming out. Yeah, you're going to like that. We're going to have some little snippets from it later in the week. When I give a new segment, I love this segment. Actually, I came up with it because I say bad words. So I had to come up with a different word to say. So you'll find out what that is later in the week. But it's time to put the film on. Put the film on, bro. Yeah, I said it a long time ago. And it's stuck with me. And this week, well, it's easy. Somewhat. Because it's Caleb Williams. This guy is an incredible play creator. When things die, he can create. There's a difference to me in playmaking and play creating. He creates. Let's take a look at Caleb Williams. Put the film on, bro.
There's little question of the magic in Caleb Williams' game. But the ability to make quick decisions, especially down in the red zone, you're going to see that here against Utah. This is going to be just a zone read, and he's going to be reading back over here, but he gets instant penetration, and because of that, it throws off his reads. It throws off everything, and now he's just got to try and buy time. Now, as you can see, it's 2nd and goal down at the 2-yard line, and he's going to have this receiver, number 10, working the back of the end zone. But to get him all the way over to the U over here in Utah, he's got to buy some time. And that's not something he's really afforded. But Caleb gets that time because he just simply keeps backing up and then trusts the strength of his arm to throw it into a small space. Let's take a look here at this play. 2nd and goal against Utah. He's going to bring him in motion. All right, he's going to get him tight to the line. Now, you see the instant right there. He gets that instant heat off the edge. So that's going to make him, right there, he gets the instant heat. Now he's got to spin around, and now it's, okay, well, what can we do? So as he spins around, he gets some time, but now the timing, everything is really kind of messed up. And as it is, he's starting to get a little bit of pressure here. So all he does is he just backs up. He just keeps backing up. Now, this is nowhere in your quarterback manual, anywhere. You're not going to find this anywhere in your quarterback manual. Just keep backing up and throw backwards, essentially. Throw moving backwards, a dart into the end zone and hit your receiver in stride. I mean, seriously? Look at this. He keeps backing up and then throws a rocket. Seriously? I mean, what are we watching with this guy? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that Caleb Williams is pretty special. And I think he's going to be the number 1 pick. It's just a matter of who ends up with that number 1 pick. That is going to be the interesting part of it. Now, with teams that need a quarterback and they're looking a little bit later, where does Spencer Rattler fit in this mix? When he's coming out of Pinnacle High School, he's one of the top recruits in the country. He went to Oklahoma, much valued. Everybody wanted to see Spencer Rattler. Got him on the field in 2020. Like, okay, this looks good. 2021, well, we got problems with Rattler. He's got issues. They move on. He moves on. He goes to South Carolina, up and down to start his career. But the last 3 or 4 games, he was dialed in. Let's take a look at Spencer Rattler as we put the film on, bro. Let's go.
It's time to take a look at South Carolina quarterback Spencer Rattler. I don't know if it's actually arguable. I think he is the most polarizing prospect in this 2024 NFL class. He decided to go back to school for one final shot at South Carolina after a great start to his career at Oklahoma. Ran in a bunch of roadblocks in 2021. Transferred to South Carolina. Really shaky, really up and down early in 2022. But it was this night against Tennessee where things started to come together for Spencer. He's got every asset you want in a quarterback. He can move a little bit, although I wouldn't call him a dual threat quarterback. He can make every throw on the field when he's protected, as he is on this play. You can see how he works his pocket mechanics. I think this is a great example of what Spencer Rattler is able to do. So what South Carolina is going to do here is they're going to run a little switch mills. So they're going to take this outside guy, and he's going to run inside and then run a dig route. This number 2 receiver, so kind of outside in, 1, 2, 3. So number 2 receiver here is going to go outside and then run the post. And the thought is, with a dig and a post, you're trying to put the safety here in peril. You're trying to get the safety to decide, do I jump the dig? You throw the post. If he stays deep on the post, you throw the dig. If you have time, Spencer Rattler can make this throw. And what he's going to get here is this outside receiver on the post, and he throws just a beautiful ball. So let's take a look. He's going to take snap, drop, gets great protection of the 4-man surface. No extra pressure. They're playing zone. You can look at the underneath droppers. Look where their eyes are. They're trying to match up with the receivers. You can see the switch happening down below here. See that switch? See how they're switching inside, outside. He's trying to play with the eyes of the defensive back. Spencer's got his eyes downfield. Never looks at the rush. It's good. Then he slides up with a couple of crow hops and then watch this dart. This dart. I mean, this is a great throw. Look at that throw. I mean, Josh Vann never breaks stride. Look at this thing. Beautiful parabola, a 2-ball, not a line drive, not a big, deep parabola, but right in between, over the corner. And then Josh Vann takes it the rest of the way to the house. Man, this is nice. All right, let's take a look at this from the beginning and watch it all the way through. Watch Spencer get a good drop here. Then he's going to take that throw and just drop it right in the bucket right there to Josh Vann for the touchdown. Yeah, Spencer Rattler is a very polarizing prospect. But when the man is doing things like this, boy, he is going to make NFL scouts work for their money this fall. There's no question about it. Spencer Rattler from South Carolina.
Yeah, there's no telling where Spencer Rattler's going to end up in his NFL draft. I don't think on the field he's really got to show anything other than just consistency. Make the throws that he can make and make the right throw. If he can do that, man, he's got a good chance to be in the top 40, first round of this draft. It's going to be interesting to see where Spencer Rattler goes in the draft. We got a full season to watch the South Carolina Gamecocks. They're going to be kind of fun. Juice Wells do lose a couple of guys on the outside. Josh Vann, Jaheim Bell, one to graduation, one to transfer portal, going to Florida State. By the way, keep an eye on Florida State. We'll talk more about some college teams a little bit later, but Spencer Rattler is going to be a polarizing topic, to say the least. All right, each and every show, I'm going to take maybe a minute at the end here and hit on pretty much anything that I want because it's my show. I have no corporation behind me to like, hey, don't say this. So I'm pretty much going to say a lot. But I'm going to start this first show off with this. And that is, well, me. I hope to be not self-serving. But in this case, I am. This is going to be my YouTube show. I'm going to do all the Texan stuff that I've always done. That's always going to be at HoustonTexans.com. My Twitter feed is going to be just bombed with content, whether it's this show, whether it's my website, which, like I said, is a subscription site August 1st, but check it out because I'm going to have some tremendous stuff for you on August 1st. And all you got to do is dial in, pay a small amount, and you'll have it at your disposal whenever you want it. I'll include all the draft guide stuff, all the draft stuff, all the stuff that I do during the season. So make sure you check that out. And last and certainly not least, a big thank you for all your support for all these years. You guys are really the reason that gave me the impetus to start all of this. And hopefully it's going to evolve. We're going to have more and more and more on the site. And it's going to be a Harris-driven site. You're going to see my daughter with me. She's an actress out in LA, and she knows a little bit of football. But we're going to see what more we can add to the mix and what more she can teach us. My wife is doing everything behind the scenes, and my son handles all the IT, all the website mechanics and everything. So this is going to be a Harris team production at footballtakeover.com. And if any of you know any of the four of us, you know we're thick as thieves and that we love the people that are supportive of us, and we're going to be supportive of you as much as we possibly can. At J Harris Football on Twitter, at JH Football Takeover is the YouTube page. Like it, share it, please subscribe, and hopefully I'll just keep coming back bringing you content every single day. For now, that's it. We'll see you later this week right here on the Football Takeover Show. Good night.